What's up, y'all? I'm Damien, and you're watching the official South Central Baddies Aftershow, only on Damien After Dark. This is the Season 4, Episode 2 Aftershow, where we'll be breaking down the most explosive moments from the episode. So get comfortable and don't go anywhere. We're about to dive right into it. But before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, or maybe you're new here, click the subscribe button right below this video and click the bell icon to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a beat, okay? If you want to support the channel, you can click the thumbs up button and like this video. I would really appreciate that. That helps me get into the algorithm so more people like yourself can find us over here. Now, if you want to take it a little further and donate to the channel, you can donate. In the description box will be ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle, okay? Last but not least, join the conversation, because I would love to hear what you have to say about episode 2, because, baby, it went down in the South Central Baddies house, okay? Fights happening left, right, up, down, top, bottom, side to side, as I do the little Kim. Ciao. Now, if y'all remember last week, the episode ended with the girl with the red scarf on her head beating Knuckles into the wall. That was girl's name, Knuckles, right? She was literally beating Knuckles into the wall. So we're picking up from where that fight left off. And you could tell old girl was doing a number on Knuckles, because Knuckles was like, I'm out of breath. I need water. I need water. I feel like that's always a telltale sign that you're getting your ass whooped. If you need air, you need water, wait a minute, I need to breathe, whatever. Right? Let's be real. I ain't team nobody, okay? I'm coming into this show non-biased, so I don't want y'all to think you just team this one or you favor. If you watch my baddies reviews, you watch my baddies after shows, I don't care if it's my favorite. Rolly was my favorite forever on baddies, but I hold her accountable when it needs to be held accountable. So I ain't got no favorites in this game. I'm just telling y'all my opinion from my lens, okay? And what these blue eyes are seeing, all right? Now, I know I told y'all, remember last week I asked y'all, I was like, who is the guy in this show? Because it didn't really make sense to me as a new viewer. That's another thing I wish they would do. Like, these shows like Baddies and Baddies, South Central Baddies and stuff, I don't think they realize that every time when people watch these episodes, it's not like every one of us has seen this show before. You may be getting new viewers. So it's important to tell who some of these people are. If you got to put a little thing under, in their confessional, or which I know they do put their names in the confessional, but still, as a new viewer, it's kind of like, who is this guy? But I know some of y'all told me that he was like the Natalie of the show, which is, it's his show, whatever, it's fine. It's giving that he wants to be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Which is no shade. Do you want to be in the mix? That's fine. I saw an advertisement of him on Now That's TV where he's going to be, I think it's Bad Blood or something, where he's fighting somebody else. So obviously, this Isaiah guy, he wants to produce his own shows and he wants to star in them as well. Nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. I just feel like it gets a little muddy. It gets a little murky sometimes when we add guys and girls in the mix and there's fighting involved. Even though I don't think Isaiah is getting involved in the fighting, but I could see how it could get escalated into that quick. Because, I mean, you see Isaiah, he's breaking up a lot of these fights between these girls. And I'm just like, damn. Now, you take a blow to the face on accident, you got to chalk that up to the, it is what an accident. It is what it is. You can't get mad and swing back on one of these girls now. So after a few rounds with Knuckles and who was Knuckles fighting? I can't think of that girl's name with the red scarf on her head. I'm still trying to learn names, so y'all bear with me. But after that fight, after they kept going and going, I'm just like, Knuckles, give it up, boo. Sis. Because old girl was handing it to her. But I have to give it to Knuckles because she held her own. She may not have won that fight, in my opinion, but she held her own. She held it down. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we meet Ivory this episode. Well, I meet Ivory this episode. Y'all may know her already. Um, but no shade, Ivory. No shade. But sis look like she has lived a rough life. And then when she said she was 20 years old, I gagged, bitch. I said, 20? The fuck? 20 years old? She looks like she has lived, baby. And when I say lived, I mean lived, if you know what I'm saying. And that's no shade, Ivory. That's no shade. It wasn't. I didn't think she was 20. She could be my age. I was thinking 32. I'm 30, but I was thinking 32ish, 31, 30, 33, something around there. I wasn't thinking no 20. That's for damn sure. But Ivory has beef with quite a few of these girls. And one of them, again, I didn't catch her name. One of the girls that she has beef with, and y'all probably know who I'm talking about. She has beef with the girl because the girl talked about her kids. And she's telling Isaiah this before they show up, because some of the girls are already at the house. And that's another thing I was wondering. I'm like, did these girls even live in a house, or do we just see them fighting every week at a theater or whatever they were at last week? But we finally see them this episode go to the house, and some of the girls are at the house. Some of the girls are on the Sprinter van heading to the house. And while the girls on the Sprinter van are heading there, Ivory is telling Isaiah, why she has beef with this girl. And it's because they were talking about one another's kids. And I noticed with this show, these girls like to talk about one another's kids quite a bit. And Isaiah tells her, so no dialogue, right? You just want to fight. And she's like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh gosh. Is this what this show is going to be? No shade, y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm watching this for y'all. I'm talking about this for y'all because I love y'all, okay? But y'all know me. Shit. Y'all know me. And I'm like, now, I know my subscribers ain't got me up here watching this when y'all know how I am about production, the behind the scenes of it all. Y'all know how I am about like a tight-knit show being properly done. Not saying this show's not properly done. I'm still giving it a chance. I'm just on episode 2. However, I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't want to watch a show to where from the start to the end, it's nothing but fighting and yelling. Okay? And I'm going to, and if that's what it is, that's fine. I'm going to do it. Because like I said, I love y'all. But I don't know if we'll get another season after this. If this is what it is, because I like, and that's nothing against those that want to watch that. More power to y'all. I just like storylines, character development. I want to see who these girls are. I want to see dialogue. I know a lot of people don't want to see that, but I want to see these girls talk about your issues first. You ain't got to always fight. Read each other. Read a bitch down one good time. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's more entertaining when they, you know what I'm saying, when they be going back and forth with their words. And I get it. We gotta have fights in these shows, okay? And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. They can fight once or twice an episode. And I used to stay on top of Zeus Network about that. And now that I see South Central Baddies, I feel like I was hard on Zeus because at least with Zeus, it's not nonstop fighting. They're going to give you some fights, but they also going to give you your dialogue. They're going to give you, the clubbing and some scenes here and there doing this and that. And it's not just the fighting. But I just like, it's just like, it feels like this show is women's UFC. That's all we're seeing is bitches knocking each other out left and right. But like I said, I'm giving it a chance because the girls are just now getting into the house. And one of the girls even said, I peeped this. One of the girls even said, shit, I wanna put my wig back on, and I don't want to have to worry about it getting snatched off. She said, I don't want to fight all this season. I want to go to the club. I want to have a good time. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, can the girls go out? Can we see some stuff like that? I want to see girls interacting with one another. I want to see girls, gain friendships with one another. Uh, Maybe see friendships break apart. I want to see the girls confide in one another, be vulnerable with one another, um, bring guys over, do they thing. And I think what it is that I'm constantly longing for that show to come along that's like BGC and replace BGC. And I feel like we're never going to get that. And I should just like let that go and appreciate these shows for what they are. But it's just so hard because I feel like a lot of these shows are coming off of the backs of Bad Girls Club. I feel like a lot of these shows are intentionally going into production thinking of BGC. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we meet Lolly, and Lolly has a beef with China. Again, a lot of these girls I'm just meeting, so if I get names mixed up, forgive me if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Now Lolly has a beef with China because China, like a lot of other these girls, has talked shit about Lolly's child. And she said that Lolly's child was a fat bitch and needed to get on a treadmill. And I'm just like, God damn. Really? We calling the kids fat bitches and they need to go on treadmills? That's just gutter snipe low. Or in the words of either Crimson Chin. Yeah, Crimson Chin. In the words of the great Crimson Chin, that's very gutter butt. Okay. Shout out to you, Crimson Chin. That's very gutter butt behavior. To tell a child, like I would, and here's the thing. I know when you're mad, I'm not perfect. I've said shit that's fucked up. And when you're mad, sometimes you want to go to the lowest that you can go. And I think a lot of people think, oh, what can I do to get her? We all know that going towards somebody's kids is the one way you can really get somebody. And I think that's what some of these girls do. I don't think it's that they just necessarily have this ill will towards someone's child. I think they're just trying to go to the jugular. And it works. Most of the time, you want to get your ass beat? Talk about somebody's child. And Lolly talks about how it's been difficult. While she talks about it's sensitive for her because it was hard for her to have this child. Not even, well, yeah, hard for her to have this child, but it was a journey as well because she went through, getting a donor and things like that because she's in a lesbian relationship. So she says, this pregnancy was made with a lot of love. It was, we went through a lot to get this child. So I'll be damned if anybody gonna speak on it. And hey, I respect it. I don't respect a bitch. Like if somebody talks about your child and you don't do something, that's when I'm side eyeing you. So, so the girls from last week that we saw, like Cash, like China, like Liddy, like Savannah, Maria Garcia, they are in the Sprinter van and they're heading to the house where the other girls are at. Like Ivory and others, they're waiting at the house. And so the girls in the Sprinter van, they're headed there. And I was watching, I'm like, these shows like Zeus and Now That TV, I've noticed like they be Cheech and Chonging these Sprinter buses, these houses, and I'm just like, y'all must have like a crazy budget on these shows because I don't know about y'all, but like when I go out of town or I vacation, anytime I get a hotel, an Airbnb, or I rent a car, like I'm super cautious about smoking anything, weed, cigarettes. I don't really smoke cigarettes like that, but just anything in general besides vape. Like I'll smoke a vape because to me, I think it's stupid to say no vaping indoors or no vaping somewhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I guess it may have some bad secondhand smoke effects, but whatever. That's just my opinion. But I'm just like, damn, well, y'all must have the budget out this world. Because I know when y'all be returning these vehicles and y'all be leaving these houses and shit, that weed is loud. And I know that y'all probably be getting charged them fees. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always super cautious about that. Okay. So I'm about to be very real with y'all for a minute. And I hope this does not come off as bullying. I hope this does not come off as being a mean bitch or anything, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. Cash, who I came into the show looking at side-eye, but now I'm kind of liking Cash a little bit. I don't know. I'm still trying to form opinions on all these girls. However, no shade, Cash. But what is going on with old girl's hairline? Like, and her hairline, it's like, her hair is braided back, first of all, because she wears a wig. Cool, whatever. But her hairline starts, like, if my cap is her hairline starts, like, back here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be horrible. And here's the thing, that's why I said I'm going to be real with y'all. Because I got my hair pulled up right now. Y'all see, I have a receding hairline. You see this? I get this from my wonderful father. That's why I said I'm going to be real as fuck with y'all. Because I'm not perfect. Bitch, I got motherfucking flaws. Now, when I let this hair down, and I get these curls popping, that's a different story, okay? So I've told y'all, if you ever see me with a hat on, it's because I ain't done nothing to my hair. But let me get these curls going. You can't tell me shit. But I'm just like, Cash, mama, you on TV, sis. What are you doing? I wouldn't let nobody see me like that. Now, Cash may have the confidence out this world, and if she does, more power to you, sister. But I'm just like, God damn. What happened to the rest? Like, what happened? Like, it started back here. I wouldn't listen, let me tell you something. I wouldn't let a goddamn soul see me without my wig, my stocking cap, a bandana, a scarf, the swimmer's cap that she be wearing. I'm just like, you giving these girls perfect ammunition to clown your ass. I'm just saying. Like, please, sis, put something over your head. And okay, so another thing. And I know y'all probably get tired of me critiquing these shows, but I just gotta say it. Just little things. I think another thing with Baddies on Zeus and South Central Baddies on Now That's TV, I think with these shows, what they need to do to make it more entertaining is take these girls' phones. Because there's a lot of times where I'll see girls sitting back on their phones while scenes are being filmed. And it's like, I think that's what may make a lot of these past shows that we loved, like Bad Girls Club and other shows. Big Brother is another example. That show, Big Brother. I feel like it gets very interesting because these people are trapped in a house together and they're cut off from communication. They don't have a phone. Now, of course, we could put a house phone in there, like on Bad Girls Club, where they would use the house phone to call home and whatnot. You know, I get you got to talk to family. But I think they should take their cell phones. Take their cell phones, and that forces people to communicate with one another and talk to one another because you get so bored, you have no choice. And I think that's just that could be a consideration. And I mean, too, these shows now, Bad Girls Club, when it aired on Oxygen, they used to film for like 3 months. 3 months, and those girls would go without their phones. These baddies and South Central Baddies shit, they don't film but a few weeks, a month at most. They'll be all right. You know, they'd be all right. Or maybe let them have their phones when filming's done at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? We film all day, or when camera's up, put your phone away. Something like that. We need a real life social experiment. That's what it, that's what I feel like it is. It's a social experiment. So we got seven of the girls at the house. Like Ivory, Lex, and some others, right? They're at the house, and the other girls arrive to the house in the Sprinter van. And Lexi inside is telling Jayla, I think her name is Jayla, Jay or Jayla or something. Lexi's telling Jayla inside that she wants to get Bree first. She says, when Bree walks in the door, I want to get Bree first. Because apparently both Jay and Lex want a piece of Bree. Apparently a lot of these girls want a piece of Miss Bree. So when the other girls arrive in the Sprinter van, they getting ready. Isaiah's outside prepping them, talking to them. They go inside and bam, it begins. It's time for war. Bitch, they walk in that motherfucking door and you couldn't have told me no different. You could have told me that we were at the motherfucking rodeo and they just opened the gates and they let the motherfucking bull out, bitch. Because that's what happened when they opened that door. Because, baby, Miss Lolly came barreling out that bitch like the Hulk. I mean, she went in on Sister Girl. Who was it? Who did she go in on? What was that girl's name? I don't know who she went on, but she went in on somebody. I want to say it was China, the girl with the long blonde braid. I want to say it was her that she went in on at first. Now, also, when she's doing that, at the same time, some of these other girls in the house decides they want to jump in on it. And that pisses Isaiah off. The CEO, the Natalie of the show, whatever y'all want to call him. So Isaiah's pissed. He's yelling at the girls, no jumping, no jumping, no jumping. I'm just like, child, what the fuck you expect? Isaiah, you been hyping these girls up. Y'all ready to stand on business? Y'all ready to stand on business? All right, now you ready to go? You ready to stand on business? And then when they come in and everybody, all hell breaks loose, now you mad. Oh, no jumping, no jumping. And listen, I get it. I'll be the same way if I was running a show. No jumping. However, there's no set control here. You letting all these girls come in together at once. You see what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm trying to sell here? Like, jumping is wrong, yes. But when you got all these girls, all these big personalities, all these emotions running high, it's bound to end up in chaos. Especially when we're talking about fighting. You didn't think, you thought these girls were really going to sit back like this while the other two got their fade in? Hell no, they finna jump in and clean this bitch up. I mean, it is what it is. Now, Lexi tries running up on Bree. And all of a sudden, Bree is out of breath. Just like Knuckles at the beginning. Here they go. I'm out of breath. I need some water. Wait a minute. Girl, if you're getting your ass handed to you, just say that. Because that's what it seemed like to me. You already out of breath, sis? You ain't done much. You ain't done much. Now, watching round 2 with Lolly versus China, I had anxiety watching them fight in the dining room because y'all remember when they was fighting round 2 in that dining room, in the corner of that dining room was like all window. Like it was all window, and they're just sitting there going at one another right there. And I'm like, oh my God. And Lolly a big girl too. I'm like, they fixing to go through this motherfucking window. Oh my God. These girls is fixing to go through this fucking window. All this fight. It's just to shatter. They finna fall through it. Glass finna cut their ass up. I just knew it was going to happen. Now after Lolly whoops her ass again for the second time in 10 minutes, China's still running her mouth. Not only running her mouth about Lolly's child, saying, you still got a fat ass baby, bitch. And I'm just like, girl, did you not get enough of the first ass whooping? Or the second ass whooping? What does she got to do? Put you in the hospital, sis? I don't know. So we just seeing fade after fade after fade after fade after fade, right? We done saw Knuckles and the old girl with the scarf on her head. We done saw Lolly and China. We done saw Bree and was it Lolly? No, Lexi and Bree. 3 fights already. We just in the, they just getting started. Next phase that's lined up. Then we see Ivory versus Cash. Now that was probably Ivory. No, I was going to say Ivory versus Cash. I think they probably had the best fight, but I don't know because the way Lolly was doing China, baby, she was giving her all. Lolly was giving every lick she could for her child. She was like, bitch, you ain't gonna never talk about my baby again. Bop, 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 bop. I mean, back to back to back. Now, when Cash and Ivory start fighting, I felt that. I felt that fight. Like, literally, you could feel those thuds. That's what it sounded like. It's back to motherfucking back. I felt it. Pop, 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 pop. I felt it. I was like, oh, shit. God damn. Cash had her mouth guard in, but her mouth looked like it was bleeding. And Ivory keeps bringing that up. She's like, bitch, you're bleeding. Bitch, you're bleeding. But now, Ivory, I saw some blood on you, too. So, I mean, that fight between Cash and Ivory seemed pretty even. But then there towards the end, that last fight between Cash and Ivory, Cash, she did her in. That last fight that was like 10 seconds. If you go back and watch it, because they play it in slow-mo, which I like. I like that now that's TV. Like when they air a fight, they'll air it right after in slow motion so we can like get a idea of what happened. Because let's face it, those fights when they happen, they're so fast you can't see anything. Security's in the way, cameramen are in the way, producers are in the way, other girls are in the way, so it's hard to see. So I appreciate the slow motion effect. And when we saw that slow motion effect, I mean, Cash was why. She had Ivory. I'm scared of Ivory and Cash. I ain't gonna lie. Ivory and Cash both look like, I'm not saying like based off their fighting. I'm talking about just like looks. They look like they would fuck you up. They like two stout girls that would fuck you up. Like they look like they could fuck some men up. And while I was watching this, I'm like, what do these girls sign up for this show for? Because like I know with baddies, okay, there comes a good check. I know there comes clout and fame. But Now That's TV, what do they do it for? Do they make good money on Now That's TV? I know it's an up-and-coming platform. I know they're not quite to Zeus level yet. So I just wonder, like, what is the incentive to do this show? Because I'm starting to think, do y'all girls just like to fight that much? Because that's what it seems like. I'm confused because I would be having a good time. I would be like, y'all bitches want to fight? Go ahead. I'm in LA. I'm going to the club. I'm going shopping. I'm going to the dispensaries. I'm going to dinner. I'm going to have drinks. You want to come with me? You want to come too? Y'all ain't going to be on that fighting shit, are you? Okay, come on, let's go. That would be me. But I get it. Like, if we're going to have organic fights, okay, cool. Now, China, poor China, bless her heart. And if I'm getting her wrong, check me. Check with the long blonde braid, though. Real skinny. Poor China, they threw her around like a goddamn China doll, okay? They had her so fucked up, she was outside puking. She had a black eye, lip busted, a chunk of hair, a big hole in the back of her hair, that big, where Lolly was pulling that bitch like they was playing tug of war. I mean, security was trying to pull them apart, and Lolly was like, bitch, I got you. She was pulling that braid. Y'all see that? Now, who was the random gay boy upstairs in the bedroom talking to Cash and Bree and all the rest of them? It was just kind of random. That'd be the shit I'm talking about. I'm like, can we get a caption of who this guy is? Because I have no idea who this boy is. He just popped up. It seemed like another gay boy that wanted to be a South Central baddie. I'm just being real. He was all up in the mix, like fueling it all. Like, girl, yes, and girl, you was doing this, and no shade, like. You know, it is what it is. I'm just wondering, like, who he is. What's his purpose? What purpose does he serve? Is he a PA? Is he here on the set to work? Like, anyway, that is going to wrap up our after show. Next week, it looks like Pressure joins the mix, which I'm interested to see a little bit more of. I think Pressure is kind of cute. So we're going to see what Pressure brings and if she can bring the pressure to the South Central Baddies house. So you don't want to miss that. Next week, I will be doing another after show for episode 3 where we will be breaking down the episode right here. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you turn on your post notifications. If you are a fan of Baddies on Zeus, make sure you check out my Baddies Live after show each and every Sunday night on the Damien After Dark YouTube channel at 10/9 Central. We go live every Sunday night, 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. So set your post notifications. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate that because we always having fun over here, baby. Ask the squad. They'll tell you. Also, if you want to support the channel, please click the thumbs up button right down there below this video. That is your way of supporting the channel, and it helps put me in the algorithm. If you want to take it a step further and donate to the channel, you can show your support that way. In the description box below down there will be ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wish list. Last but not least, join the conversation and let me know your thoughts on episode 2 and whose side you're on when it comes to these fights. I love you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.